So now when we talk about a Pisces ascendant in a composite chart, first of all, the composite chart is a merger between two charts, right? We find a midpoint between a birth chart of partner A, birth chart of partner B, and we get what we call the composite chart, which is a representation of the couple as if they were one person. Now, what do we see with their Pisces ascendant, which is always not the case, which is not always the case, is that this couple could be big. They could like literally be physically big, okay? But of course, as I said, it's not always the case, because astrology, it will never end. We always have exceptions. And sometimes we find out there's some isolation story that we know about this couple. So it's either they are in a distant relationship, maybe with one person in another city, and the other person in another city. That part we also see. We also see some sort of like isolation story happening. It's either maybe these guys, they like to exclude themselves from the public or from the society. So it's like maybe most of the time they just spend time alone, without people. They don't like to surround themselves with people, so they just want to be just together alone. So they just they're also just like visionaries as well. So when we talk about this couple, we're talking about visionaries, like people who are literally always dreamy. They'll be talking together and just imagining stuff. This is like a couple that is able to have so many imaginations when they are together. And they just zone out. Literally, they just zone out into their imaginations and into their visions. And sometimes this couple could also be dealing with some addictions. That is possible. Or maybe sometimes this couple is dealing with escapism, they like to escape reality. So they're gonna use anything sometimes to just escape. So in some cases, in some instances, this is a couple that could escape by using medication and stuff like that, or maybe some liquids that they use to escape and isolate themselves from the society. And what we see is that when they're talking to each other, oh, by the way, before that, we can also see that this couple, they just have, a huge heart. This is the type of a couple that would give you their last 100 euros. This is a couple that likes to donate stuff. They don't hold on to stuff. They will donate a lot of stuff. They donate their time, they donate their energy, they donate their money. They just donate a lot of stuff. Okay, so this is a couple that's really on another dimension, because this is a Pisces ascendant, guys, so a lot of stories could be possible. There's no one identifier about this couple, because a Pisces ascendant is the last sign, and because it's the last sign, no one really knows about a Pisces ascendant. It's another dimension story, so any description is possible when it comes to a Pisces ascendant. Okay, but what we know is that when they talk to each other, oh my goodness, they talk with each other with passion. And their speech could be a bit assertive when it comes to talking with each other. They'll be so passionate, so sure. And we can see that when it comes to their food, they like spicy food. Yeah, so this is a couple that doesn't hold back on adding spices in their food. And what we can see is that when it comes to money and finances, these guys, they deal with that part of life with surety, but also with a lot of with a lot of expenditure, like, so it's like it's like there's not a lot of saving happening, okay? There's not a lot of saving, but at the same time we can see that they deal with their neighbors in a very compassionate way, you know. As I said, this couple is all like, you know, about living in another dimension. So, you know, when they talk with the neighbors, they're talking with the neighbors, they're discussing about family life, they're discussing stuff about, you know, their principles, their values, you know. So they'll be discussing these things with their neighbors. And also we can see that sometimes in their neighborhood, there could be some people from their childhood, you know, that they can recognize. And we can see that, you know, within their home, oh my goodness, these guys are such youthful. They are friends, you know, at their house. They'll be like pranking each other. They'll be like making jokes, you know, just chasing each other around. They're very playful at the house, like within their home. They're very playful, and they like to gossip. They be like gossiping. And then these are also the people that come to their house, like people who just want to gossip with them and share information with them. And sometimes we can see that it's possible there's a lot of car movement happening to their home. So it's maybe the people who are visiting them, they're driving, or maybe themselves, they have lots of cars, you know. There's some sort of some transportation that is happening in their household. But at the same time, as we say, lots of information, lots of playfulness within their home. And you find that now with their children, they are so emotional with them, and they're so nurturing. I mean, this couple has got, as I said, a big heart, you know. It's just those guys who are just sometimes people, they think they are aloof, you know, living in their own world. And with their kids, they nurture their kids. They're so emotional, their kids, and they're so emotionally attached to their kids as well. And you find that sometimes these kids, they also grow up to be emotional individuals, emotional children who express themselves emotionally, because I mean, this is a creative couple. You know, they're so creative, even more than a Leo ascendant. Actually, these guys are really creative, and you know, so they know how to nurture kids, because, you know, as a creative individual, you know how to come up with a project, think ideas. So for them to have kids is the most nurturing and emotional and easy job that they're doing. Okay. And you find that when they're talking to their kids, they like expressing themselves emotionally, like sharing a knowledge, sharing their emotions, and encouraging the kids to share emotions and stuff like that. Okay, so much care. And what we can see is that when it comes to challenges in their life and conflict, you know, they deal with that with so much authority, with also creativity, lots of creativity they use to solve their problems. So when they have a problem, they're gonna think about it in a creative manner. Okay, babe, how do we solve this debt? Let's be creative about it. So they use creative expression. By being creative, you know, it could mean anything. Again, Pisces Ascendant in many dimensions. Okay. And we can see that at times there's a father figure who comes and help them, you know, with their conflict, with their problems, with their debt. If it's not a father figure, definitely the government is coming in and knocking on the door, you know. And we can see that, you know, the people that they like to interact with are people who are literally like, who could be like accountants, or people who are like always proposing to do business with them. So they could be like attracting or interacting with people who say, okay, you guys, you are such visionaries, you have good imagination, how about we open a business, or maybe they just like attracting people and interacting with people who are always criticizing them. Maybe they criticize them about their weight, like, oh, you guys, you need to try this product, you need to try this dietary program, you need to go to the gym, you need to take this medication, you need to keep up with your finances, so they always like just like interacting with people who are giving them these advices, and they don't like that. People are just criticizing them and they just don't like that. But these are the people that are interacting with them anyway. And when it comes to their in-laws, they have a very affection for their in-laws, like for each other's families. They just have so much affection. And this is where, but there's some sort of like balancing that needs to be done. So they're always managing this relationship with each other's families, like the in-laws. So they always like putting in effort to make sure that they talk with their in-laws, and they like each other's families, just to keep things at peace, so they don't like to have a bad blood with each other's families and with each other as well. But when it comes to their bedroom life, because as I said, guys, these are visionaries. These are like people who are creative. So you find that they're so sensual and romantic. So they romance each other. When it comes to the bedroom life, they romance each other. They think creatively in terms of romance. They woo each other. And we can see that they can also be in the bedroom. They can also be like very unique, like trying different things. This is a couple that is not afraid to like invite maybe like a third person to their relationship, just to spice things up, just to try stuff, and we can see that when it comes to maybe one of their dads or both of their dads, they have an emotional bondage with them. Like they will be like dealing with that father or with their fathers in a very emotional and loyal way. And we can find that at times the society is always trying to like counsel this couple. Like the society is always like trying to give advices to this couple. They're trying to like share higher knowledge with this couple, okay? And you find that this couple is also like representing themselves as people who also like to travel, or people who are traveled. Okay, so it could be traveling dimensionally, exploring, or traveling physically, but this is what they represent themselves within the society. And we can see that, as I said, they interact with a lot of people who criticize them, who want to give them advice, who would do this, oh my gosh. And we can see that they are friends as well. They have friends who are very like unemotional, like friends who would be like, just dealing with them as if, they were their authority. Like their friends, they like to put some discipline on them. They like to put some restrictions, some boundaries. They like to just like, be like, do this, do that, do this, do that. So these are the friends that they have, the friends that are always trying to, like to discipline them, So as I said, sometimes, because of this isolation story that is happening with this couple, sometimes other people could also describe them as chaotic. As I said, many descriptions could be put on a Pisces Ascendant couple, because it is dimensional. So we don't have one dimension, like it's multi-dimensional. It's this ascendant we're dealing with, okay? And as I said, they like to donate a lot, like literally a lot. They like to donate to their society. and as a result, their expenditure is also on the society. If they're spending money and they having expenses, it's not only for them, no, it's also for the society. These are the guys that would literally can go broke trying to help the society, trying to be involved in the society, or giving their money to the society, regardless of maybe because they want to escape and stuff like that. Yeah, but that's the ascendant. That's the Pisces Ascendant in a nutshell, you guys. So I thank you, and I'll chat to you soon. All right, that's it.